I want to show you what the average radio and microwave radio wave number on, and I'm going to use this tri-field EMF meter. So the normal RF reading for radio and micro radio waves using this meter is less than 0.2. And then in the corner, so there's the, that should be less than 0.2. And then they have the peak radio wave, and the peak radio wave should be 1. If it's higher than 1, it's high, okay? So now I'm taking this meter and I'm putting it at my desk. This is where I sit doing work on my computer. Now what I did was I took my laptop and I put it over on the dining room table because I want to see if it makes a difference if I get farther away from my little Cox friend here. So I wanted to, if I get close to that, the peak numbers, RF reading, gets really, really high. And I specifically wire this. I don't use Wi-Fi because I don't want it to be high. But it's, you know, still pretty high. It gets actually much higher than that. That's some of the lowest numbers I've seen today. Yeah, now it's getting better, like 11. That's what I've normally seen. So this is in the dining room. The numbers are pretty high. I sit here with my computer. And of course, if you go in other rooms, go into the hall, get slower. Go into the kitchen. All right, I do have a gas stove. It's not on. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. All right, let's see. I'm going to go by the window. No, that's not it. So it's, maybe it has something to do with that's my gas stove over here. All right. I don't know, but now this is interesting. The doorway? Well, all right. Maybe the electrical outlets there. I don't know. All right, so this is the hall. I'm going to go into the living room. This is the living room. Not bad there. I'm going to go into my brother's room. I went into my brother's room. It's good here. Okay, I'm going to go, now watch this. I'm going to go into the hall, and the wall, go up to this part near the door, and there's 2 walls, one to the left and one to the right. Now, this is the kitchen wall. This is the first time I've seen numbers that high near the kitchen wall. I haven't seen numbers that high. This is a surprise to me. Because what happened was when I turned over here to the dining room wall, this is where I saw really high numbers. This is RF radiation. These are average numbers. They change pretty fast, right? So that's the dining room wall where the numbers are high by my computer. And the reason why I'm doing all this is because I developed a symptom the last few days, and it's kind of like a tingling in my legs. And I want to know if it has anything to do. I'm trying to find my shoes as I do this, so I'm going outside. All right, let me get my shoes on. Okay. Get my shoes on. Come on, shoes, get on. All right, I'm going to open the door. We're going to go outside. All right, going outside. Now, what I've been doing outside is I've been checking all over. Like, let's get the meter going here. Okay. I came over here to where my electric meter is. I'm going to just walk fast there. Get over there as fast as I can. Right, this is where the electric meter is. And I check the RF reading. No, it's not coming from there. And then I went over went over to where my gas meter is on the other side of the house. I'm just going to go there fast, and I'm going to show you that that's not high either. At least it wasn't the last time I checked it. All right, so I'm just going over here. And now standing in front of the gas meter. Let me get the average reading here. Okay, there's the average reading. Nope, it's not the gas meter. Now I want to show you what happens. Now I'm going to go to the dining room window because my computer is in the dining room, and I want to go to the window, but I want to make sure I don't fall. I'm walking on uneven ground. Okay, here's the window. Now take a look at the RF reading at my dining room window. Why is it so high? That's my question. I'm outside. This is outside. I'm at my dining room window. Why is the reading? I mean, you can understand that inside by my computer and all my Cox equipment, it would be high. But why is it so high outside my dining room window? I don't understand that. Now let's compare it to a few yards away at my kitchen window. Right, so I'm going to go over to the kitchen here, and I'm going to get the RF reading at my kitchen window. All right, so here's the reading. Let's get the average reading. Look how low it is. I'm only a few feet away. So I looked all in the front of my house, and the only place where the RF reading is high is the room that I'm in so much with my laptop, and that is the dining room. What I'm trying to figure out is, are the gang stalkers doing something that's causing, I have like vibratory feelings, like a tingling in my legs, only the last couple of days. And they're always doing things new to try to get me to move. All right, so here I am outside my dining room window. Why are these numbers so high? Hey, up there. Do you have anything that's aiming anything at my dining room window to try to harass me or to try to physically hurt me? Let's get closer to the dining room window. I'm getting closer. Right now I'm touching it. I'm touching the dining room window, and look at the numbers. RF radiation. Where is it coming from? Why is it outside my dining room window where I use my laptop? Does it have anything to do with the vibration in my legs that all of a sudden I started experiencing the last couple of days? You know that the gang stalkers are always harassing me. They actually, in my opinion, have actually tried to physically harm me. That was started in March 2024 when I had like Havana syndrome type symptoms. So this is my question. This is why I'm making this video. Why are the FR readings outside my dining room window so high? Does it have anything to do because I'm at my desk? What I just did is I moved the laptop to the dining room table away from, what do you call that thing, the Cox thing, away from the equipment on my desk, which is all hardwired. I don't use Wi-Fi specifically because I don't want more EMF radiation than I have to have. Right, here's my door. I'm going in the house. Let's look at the door. Look how low it is, and I'm only about 2 yards from the dining room window. And look how low it is. Now, I want to show you something else. All right, here's the dining room window. Now, let me just go to the end of the house, which is right here. And is it high right here, at the end of the house? No. It's just high, so it's coming at my dining room window. Let's do it again at the dining room window. What's the RF radiation at the dining room window? Look at that. Look at how high that is. Could that be responsible for the tingling in my legs? Why is it so high at my dining room window? I don't understand it. And as a government gang stalking target, I am curious. Is it they aiming something at my dining room window? I mean, is that coming from my desk? Look how high it is. Unbelievable. I mean, the highest it's supposed to be is 1, And it's like 8, 9, 15, 14, 13. The highest it's supposed to be is 1. Why is it the RF radiation so high? Does it have any connection to the symptoms that, while I'm out here, I'm going to go get my mail. All right, we'll just take a reading in the front of my house since I'm here. Let's take a reading in the front of my house. Low. So it's the only place I could find it high is in my dining room, at my desk. Let me get my mail. And also outside my dining room window. You know, as a government gang stalking target, I have a new symptom. You know, vibratory feelings in my legs, tingling sensations in my legs. Right now, I don't have the tingling sensation in my legs. It seems when I sit at my desk, you know, I think it's connected with this EMF, RF radiation. I think it's connected to that. And as a government gang stalking target, I just want to know what's going on. All right, one more time. I'm in the house now. This is the dining room wall. Now I'm going to take a look at this RF meter. All right, I'm holding it against the dining room wall. It's not as bad as it outside of the dining room window, but it's higher than normal. Now I'm going to go over to the kitchen wall, right across from it. This is the first time the kitchen wall has been high. I checked it just a little while ago, and it's not high. I don't understand why this kitchen wall is high. Because when you go in the kitchen, all right, let's see, going in the kitchen, let's see, all right, at the door, I actually have, all right, I can understand why it's high in the kitchen, because outlets, all right, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but I don't know. So I'm going to end the video now, but this is my problem. I have a new symptom, which is kind of vibrations, tingling in my legs last couple of days. I'm a gang stalking target. They do pretty terrible things in government gang stalking. There's no oversight in this horrific program. And so I'm just wondering, why are the readings so high outside my dining room window? I'm outside. I don't understand it. Does it have anything to do with my symptoms? I don't know. Does it have anything to do with government gang stalking? I don't know. But I do know, I would bet a lot of money that they are experimenting on gang stalking targets. And not everybody. It's just like the whistleblowers. It's just like the people that they want to really hurt.